which can be a tendency that I've become important now, and people bow down to me, and I'm shown respect. And so bring on the good eatables and the first class conveyances, and give me a massage, you know. Sannyasis, so they should never go to a physician. A sannyasi residing within a mat should give up the mentality, I am to be worshipped and served, and reside in the mat for the sake of serving all others, otherwise he should return home. Excessive babugiri, drinking too much milk, and luxurious eating should be completely forsworn. That's number 6. So not too much milk. Number 7, there is no need for bodybuilders to reside in the mat. Nor should it be like a gentleman's club. Only devotees should stay in the mat. So no weightlifter, if you're a sannyasi. Strengthen the senses by taking medicines and tonics and trying to spread one's domination to attract others' wives, or desiring to do so, should entirely be given up. Which means it was going on. The fact that he says it should be given up means that's what, and that's why he was sending all these warnings. Obeisances, Kartikeya, obeisances. Pay your obeisances. We're having to remind Kartikeya of his culture. Number 9, we should always remember that Krishna is the only Lord and enjoyer of all, and I'm the servant of everybody. So there's a few actually, so I'll leave it at that. So who would like to read something? Okay, so wherever you open it up. Do you want the mic?
Festivals. Drawing on the already established Mahotsava tradition in Gaudiya culture, Srila Saraswati Thakura introduced glorious festivals as a primary feature of the Gaudiya Math propaganda campaign. These festivals gave a taste of the spiritual world to their numerous participants, and hence did much to popularize the Gaudiya Math and legitimize it in the public eye. For although few felt comfortable with a barrage of diatribes against distorted religion, even fewer could refuse the attraction of its glorious celebrations and sumptuous Mahaprasad, especially at the Sri Gaudiya Math in Calcutta. Sometimes tens of thousands were fed in a single day. Srila Saraswati Thakura wanted that each major Vaishnava festival could be grandly observed in every branch of the Gaudiya Math archipelago. I don't know what that word is. And by further introducing some extra celebrations and special events, he created a constant gala mood wherever Math initiates and local Grihastha disciples were busy either conducting a festival or preparing for the next. Although most festivals consisted simply of kirtan, darshan, prayana, harikatha, and on certain days distribution of Mahaprasad, being widely publicized, and they attracted huge crowds. Wherever they were held, Gaudiya Math festivals became an important part of the local social life. The magic of the mass Harinam and Mahaprasad distribution dissolved much mistrust, and consequently many people who previously had doubted the Gaudiya Math went away praising it with newfound appreciation. Caste and other societal barriers were vanquished as all participants became absorbed in the Vaikuntha atmosphere. These celebrations became so popular and reputed that even some avowed foes of the Gaudiya Math could not resist attending them, upon which they would be respectfully greeted and well cared for, and departed, which they generally could not but admit that Srila Saraswati Thakura and his men were perhaps not so bad after all. Jai.
Ananda, so what we're doing, we're just opening the book. Place. found one here which is really good, but I went to.
Following in the tradition of renowned acharyas and pandits, Srila Saraswati Thakur drew on the extraordinary richness and multi-valency of Sanskrit to reveal seemingly unlimited meanings and depth of meaning in the statements of Shastras. It was as if he could prepare a book about each line, word, and syllable. He carefully defined philosophical terms such as Advaya Gyan, Tattva, and the 5 levels of perception outlined by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Pratyaksha, knowledge received through the senses. The Paroksha, knowledge received from others based on their Pratyaksha. The body of knowledge consisting of the collective sense preceptory experience of the human race. Aporoksha, intuition or realization based on Pratyaksha and Paroksha, or beyond Pratyaksha and Paroksha, leading to and only as far as impersonal realization of the Absolute. Adokshaja, transcendental knowledge from above the plane of mundane perception and speculation, surpassing Pratyaksha, Paroksha, and Aparoksha, leading to and only as far as Vaikuntha realization. And Aprakrita, full-fledged spiritual knowledge of the Supreme Lord's Vraja pastimes of intimate love. Adokshaja being an
Appellation.
Adokshaja being an appellation of the Supreme Lord, indicating him who reserves the prerogative of being immeasurable by mundane senses, mind, and intelligence. Srila Saraswati Thakur greatly stressed the significance of this name and instructed, wherever you see this word in Srimad Bhagavatam, you should repeatedly underline it. It is most important, the only index. Srila
It's funny because we were talking this morning about blind faith, and that we should challenge. But he's saying that adhokshaja means it's a name for God, which means he reserves the right of only when he reveals himself. You can't force him by perception, by pratyaksha.
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati made wide use of traditional proverbs and sayings, often citing them with a Krishna conscious twist. He often quoted the Bengali saying, Ar Kali Kene, why tomorrow? And from Sanskrit, Turnam Yateta, immediately take to spiritual life. And Sange Shakti Kalau Yuge. In Kali Yuga, strength is derived from English phrase, though it over, express the attitude of conditioned soul toward all this suffering. And he regularly made points to with pithy rhymes and puns. For example, delineating two types of pratishtha, fame, piety pratishtha and notoriety pratishtha. Especially in speech, sometimes amid a flow of high-blown terms, by way of contrast, he would suddenly insert a zingy colloquialism or slang word to emphasize a grossness or absurdity. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati generally lectured in his first tongue, Bengali. He often spoke and wrote in English. He spoke and read Oriya, but not very fluently, and did not lecture in it. In Bengali, he would dictate articles for the Paramarthi to Shripad Jati Shekhara Prabhu, who would immediately transpose.
During Srila Saraswati Thakur's visit to Decca in April 1935, a group of scholars came to hear from him, and one of them, the Sanskrit professor, Shriyukta Abhay Chandra, M.A., opened the conversation by stating that as a result of modern education, today's students were becoming misbehaved, vulgar, and immoral, and thus it was not possible to speak to them about devotion to God, which they snorted at as if it were a laughing matter. Yet, without first giving religious instructions, moral standards could not be established. In reply, Srila Saraswati Thakur spoke at length to establish that the proper process is not to first
the necessity of dharma. The principal of Sanskrit college stated that even without consecration of any god, it is possible to lead a moral life, and that he, Siddhanta Saraswati, later privately protested to principle that godless morality could only be opportunism or materialism, and thus could benefit neither the individual nor the society at large. He cited Black Self-Culture, a prescribed book at the college that compared godless or humanistic morality to living in a kingdom without recognizing the authority of the king, while establishing that Shuddha Bhakti was far above and of a wholly different nature than ordinary worldly morality. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati strongly contested pseudo-devotees talking Vaishnava Dharma as an excuse for eschewing conventional moral fidelity. He stated the character of person engaged in spiritual life is never devoid of morals. Individuals opposed to morality and those fallen from morality are never fit to be called spiritualists. Licen-
Licentious, which means promiscuous.
can never be bhakti.
Okay, Ed, do you want to read something? And then Dan.
Bhakti is service. It's a service.
Yeah, and Bhaktisiddhanta means the perfection. Siddhanta is perfection, so he was given the title of Bhaktisiddhanta because he'd perfected devotional service.
There is no dharma at all in subjects enjoyed by the masses. Whatever ethics or morality exist within the universe, and whatever external dharma is present, are not pure truth. All dharma, all truth, is situated at Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. On hearing this, people may say that I am crazy, but I don't mind. Let them say that I have given up the correct path and gone in the opposite direction. I will continue on the opposite path. Can you briefly maybe explain dharma to me?
Yeah, dharma means it means the occupation. So if you have water, the dharma of water is to be wet. If you freeze it, then it's not its real dharma. Then once it melts, it goes back to its dharma. So the intrinsic dharma of the human is to serve. So if you decide you don't want to serve God, then you'll have to serve your country or your wife or your dog or even just yourself. So that's your dharma.
Is all the dharma that we should aspire to serve God?
Well, the essential dharma, I suppose you could say, where all the other sub-dharmas are coming from, is the innate propensity within us to serve God. And when you connect with that, when you actually do devotion and you're doing something and you're doing it just to please Krishna, then it feels very satisfying, like, wow, this is what I'm meant to do, this is what I was designed for. And that's what dharma is, it's your intrinsic nature.
Could one say that the dharma of a doctor is to heal people?
Well, yeah, but his deeper dharma would be that although he's serving humanity, which is wonderful, could be a politician, a doctor, or a teacher, to do that in the service of God would be the best thing. That would be the highest. That would be his full potential would have been tapped into when he was linking it with God. Dan? Yeah, if you see something and it attracts your attention, then you can extrapolate.
Right, so traditional Bengali
Vaishnavas, yeah.
objected at the status of
Sannyasis.
sannyasis, invites respect and thus transgresses Lord Chaitanya's respect of considering oneself lower than school. That sannyasis,
Yeah.
being a role within Varman Swama, is not meant for followers of Lord Chaitanya, and that red garb for
Renunciance.
is directly against the Sri Chaitanya Kasamatra statement, Bhakta Vastra Vanisara Hati. It's quite. Now, Yaya, it is unbefitting that a Varisma wear a red cloth, and thus is a deviation from the line of the six Goswamis who have worn white.
Okay. Leela Manjari, do you want to read from... okay, just read from that. Maybe read toward the end. Gormandizing. Gormandizing?
Health issues. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that the pure devotee's body should not be viewed as a
Conglomeration.
of blood and bones, or its holy spiritual. The body of a devotee is never material, it is transcendental, full of spiritual bliss. Accordingly, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati clarifies that disease being a material condition, a Srila Bhakta should never be considered sick, especially Sri Gurudev should always be seen in terms of the spiritual position, because his body is not of this world. Any corporeal affliction perceived in him should be appreciated either as a transcendental symptom of ecstasy, or as meant for giving his disciple an opportunity to intimately serve him. Anyone who judges the Guru to be sick in this manner of an ordinary person is himself sick. Descriptions of Srila Saraswati Thakura's bodily state should be accepted with the aforesaid understanding. Generally, his health was sufficiently good for executing regular activities, although not without sporadic ailments. In his later days, he became stiff and rheumatic, apparently due to spending much time seated. When occasionally he did fall ill, his outlook was to tolerate and depend on Krishna. He never made substantial Babaji Maharaj. If painful maladies arrive in our body, what's malady?
Malady is like a sickness.
It will soothe me automatically, and once of scrumptious food stuff Only the bodies of rich and comfort-loving people do diseases stay a long time, because they get much indulgence. During Urjavrata in Mathura in 1954, Srila Saraswati Thakura wrote, I consider that even though my bodily condition may not be good, I shall not cease performing Krishna bhajan, for showing indifference to Krishna bhajan is not a proper policy. Nevertheless, if I become fully incapable, then certainly my bhajan will be reduced to smarana only. He stated that the eternal health of the soul is situated at Krishna's lotus feet. Although at one point he consented to undergo a hernia operation, he later desisted, suspecting that the doctor had been hired to kill him. Srila Saraswati Thakura did not approve of literacy being used as medicine.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's a saying, you should feed a cold and starve a fever. So if you're sick and you're eating sumptuous food, then the fever will stay. But if you have a fever and you stop eating, eventually the fever will die out. So the same way, all these different maladies or sicknesses of the body, if you're not eating scrumptiously, then they won't stay. Yeah. Sugar and dairy. Yeah. Okay, here's one. We're on to volume 2 now, and this is a deviant Vaishnava group. So if we can just cast our mind back to the time when Bhaktisiddhanta was here, his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, had identified what a real sadhu was, what a real spiritual practitioner was, and there was at least 13 different bogus camps, Bolya and different type of Sahaja groups, and they had philosophical deviations. So Bhaktivinoda clarified this, identified them, and established the pure line that we're following. So Bhaktisiddhanta, his son, carried that on, and he identified deviant Vaishnava groups. So in Bombay, some irate citizens filed a case against the local Vallabha Sampradaya. Sampradaya is a lineage. There's 4 Sampradayas. We're in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, which means the succession of teachers from an incarnation of God. Then there's the Vallabha Sampradaya, the Lakshmi Sampradaya, and the Kumara Sampradaya. Yeah. So this was from one of the other Sampradayas. I mean, they're still wonderful. They have their own ways of doing things, and they go from it to an incarnation. But this one was a bogus one. He was sexually exploiting his disciples' wives and daughters. When Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati heard about this, he commented, the Guru is not an enjoyer of flesh like a lion or a tiger. When Shastra states that you should give all good things to the Guru, it means you should give him your soul, not your wife. The dichotomy of a Guru being worshipped as if divine, when clearly he was not, gave rise to a curious cultural phenomenon of complacent disciples, verbally and behaviorally, acknowledging their gurus as God incarnate, yet maintaining a mundane view of and actually caring very little for them. Having suspended or never operated their discriminative faculties, gurus and disciples alike were inured to playing their required roles in a shallow and hypocritical farce. So, what was going on? It was a tradition to accept a guru as none different from God, but the gurus weren't proper gurus, and the disciples weren't proper disciples. So they say that only a sincere disciple will find a genuine guru. So if you're not a genuine disciple, you've got very little chance of finding a genuine guru. So then what will happen is the bogus gurus will attract the bogus disciples. They want something cheap, and at the same time the guru exploits them. They try to exploit the guru, and the guru tries to exploit them at the same time. So nobody gets anywhere. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we've come a long way, and the wonderful thing about being in the West is we don't have any real, we know very little about demigod worship and very little about these deviations. We just first heard about from one of Srila Prabhupada's books. And so everything's very clear for us, which is fortunate.
Although seemingly ferocious, lion is very kind to his cubs. Similarly, although very ferocious to non-devotees like Imani Kashipu, Lord of Singhadev is exceedingly soft and kind to his devotees like the Lord.
Lord Nrsimhadev is an incarnation of God, which is half lion and half man.
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura often seen unapproachable persons who saw only his stern exterior. Even most of his disciples were so much awed by his stature and uncompromising spirit that they considered themselves unworldly awe and even fear coming very close to him. Particularly as the mission expanded, the newer Sishyas had never had very little or no opportunity personally even to relate or even speak with him.
Shishya is a disciple.
Nor was it expected that they directly approached him. Gradually, he dealt only with the inner cold theory of the senior disciples who also saw the activities of the mission. Yet junior devotees did not feel proud of his affection or mercy, for they appreciated his leading disciples as channels of, not warriors to, his magnanimity. And indeed, the heart of his mind guru was exceedingly tender, as demonstrated in his genuine affection and sympathy for his disciples. I just heard something from my Guru Maharaj about this, so back to some like doing classes, and then at the end, like the disciples would turn to like Srila Maharaj was like,
Yeah.
so what did he say?
Even Srila Prabhupada was finding it hard to follow.
You have to like translate everything into like words. Srila Saraswati Thakura was solicitous for both spiritual and physical welfare of his sisters. He had not been few. Had he not been, few could have left their homes, for Indian families are traditionally tight-knit, and especially Bengali mothers are gushously dotting and cuddling to their sons.
Cuddling or coddling?
Cuddling.
Coddling. Mollycoddling.
Srila Saraswati Thakura was more affectionate than millions of brothers. Many disciples or discouraged experience intermediate dissipation of their care simply by entering his presence, and immediately derive renewed inspiration, enthusiasm, and confidence. Sometimes when you notice Shishus look in pain or distress, you affectionately squeeze Krishna Prasad and them of all the stresses.
Oh.
And whenever he left the place, even for a few days, his sincere disciples' hearts ached in separation, each longing for swift return.
Good.
So, right? I mean, that kind of explains it.
Yeah. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj in the class was saying that he adopted this persona. He said, but if you saw him in the spiritual world, he'd be much different. But it was a strategic position that he took, which was needed at that time.
Once when a lawyer vomited warm infested rice, Jatindra instructed him in the significance of offering items to the Lord. Hearing this, the lawyer became satisfied and later related the incident to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhu. When a deputy magistrate who was a neighbor of Jatindra's family was made chairman of a religious meeting at Prakat Town Hall, Jatindra attended and openly protested that because that man was addicted to the 5 principal vices of Kali Yuga, flesh eating, intoxication, womanizing, gambling, and excessively accumulating wealth, he was unfit to chair such an assembly. Jatindra's friends started clapping and most of the attendees joined. Chained, the magistrate promptly forswore his bad habits and by calling Jatindra to his home for religious instruction, gradually came to the path of pure devotion. Prior to visiting Jaipur in 1930 with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Srimad Tirtha Maharaj and Bhakti Sudhakar Prabhu sent Jatindra and other Sachidananda Math residents to prepare the Jagannath Dharamshala for their stopover. After Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati arrived, Jatindra took the opportunity to directly request Harinam. But Vasudev Prabhu intervened, saying that there was no need to take Harinam at such a young age, and that first a candidate's faith and determination had to be tested. Seeing Jatindra's crestfallen look, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati overruled Vasudev Prabhu, and on 25th December 1930, on the bank of Vaitarni, awarded Harinam to Jatindra.
Harinam means initiation. So generally you don't get that until you're older. But in this case, because you saw Chaitanya was upset, then he allowed him. How old was Chaitanya?
Mm.
He was very young now. Eh?
Before the ceremony, Vasudev Prabhu personally attacked Sita from Jatindra's body, and the two were designated.
That's Tila. We're so used to saying things like Tila, but it doesn't mean anything to people who've never heard anything. You have to think as you're reading it, okay, what does that mean? What's a sannyasi? What's Tila?
The extent to which deviation within Vaishnava Dharma had become rationalized was epitomized by persons who who wore Vaishnava tilak and neck beads, chanted on Japamala enthusiastically, partook in Kirtana and other devotional practices, yet also delighted in eating fish. In other parts of India, it was unthinkable for Vaishnavas to eat fish and meat. Only in Bengal, Odisha, cultural bloc did persons who identified themselves as Vaishnava do so. This was strong. This was probably due to strong influence in that area of Shaktas, among whom carnivorous was doctrinally accepted under certain conditions.
What's Shakta? Worship of Durga, right? Yeah.
That are commonly largely dispensed with. Moreover, fish was plentiful and affordable. Although Lord Chaitanya and his associates had never eaten fish, most modern Bengali Vaishnavas did so without considering that it was sinful. Few saw any incongruity in, for instance, returning from the bazaar with a japamala in one hand and freshly purchased fish dangling in another. Members of the Kala Chandi Apasampradaya even offered fish along with tulsi leaves to Krishna and then took it as prasad. I know one person who's someone in whose family is like initiated Vaishnava and they do these things. Yeah, he was telling me.
Our basic principles are no less sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, and no gambling. So, meat eating refers to meat, fish, and eggs. That's our standard now. But in India, anything goes, and a lot of times they don't even know why. If you ask them why you're doing this, they just because my grandmother told me.
Yeah. Supposed Vaishnavas would extenuate Srila Saraswati Thakur's protests by saying, "Will the all merciful Bhagwan cease being kind to us for a little thing like fish eating?" They further downplayed their cruelty by heartlessly arguing that fish is vegetarian, being Gangla Phala, fruit of the Ganga. In Dhaka, one Prana Gopala Brahmachari challenged Srila Saraswati Thakur by declaring it acceptable for Vaishnavas to take non-vegetarian food, citing Garuda and Jatayu, famous devotees in an eagle and vulture form respectively, as non-vegetarian. But Srila Saraswati Thakur rebutted, there are innumerable Vaishnavas who abjure meat and fish. A few expectations do not neutralize the rule. Exceptions. Flesh is the ordained food for those particular bodily forms. It is not approved for all. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati shed light on the Puranic statement that eating fish in Puri is equivalent to taking Havishyana, the purest sacrificial food. Smriti states, Matsyada sarva mamsdas tasman matsyan vivarjayat. Eating fish is equivalent to eating all other kinds of meat and thus should be forsworn. According to this scriptural statement, one who eats fish incurs the sin of eating the flesh of all types of living entities. Therefore, since fish is most impure, it can be never considered fit for eating.
Yeah. And fit for eating means not fit for offering, but it's not fit for eating. It's not fit for eating because it's not fit for offering. Because if you had an offering and somebody touched it with the fish, and you couldn't do the offering, it'd be contaminated. You'd have to get some fresh food and try and offer that instead.
Continuing accusations. As a revolutionary determined to restore the dignity of the wider Satvadam and fulfill its purpose, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati made many seeming innovations and unreservedly criticised perpetrators of the antiquated status quo. His unrelenting salvos against the various obligacies of the Aksan Pradasa were naturally despised by their adherents, who counter-charged with reciprocal arrangements. Widely wearing coats and expensive shoes, you buy a car, use luxuries like electric fans, mix with materialists, and have a bodyguard. This is not Vaishnava behavior. No previous great Vaishnava did these things. How do I pronounce that?
Vaishnava.
That's Vaishnava.
Vaishnava.
Right, thank you. Vaishnava did these things. Yet, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was never stymied by such spurious drivel, which he considered as affording further opportunities to elucidate the authenticity of his position, which he did personally and through disciples via innumerable lectures, conversations, and magazine articles. Indeed, he welcomed counterattacks, feeling that even anti-pathetic publicity gave recognition to his position and would stimulate thoughtful people to ruminate on it.
Some big words now.
Very
In the late 1870s, while posted as deputy magistrate in Narayana, the Asoli district, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakura occasionally ventured out by houseboat and horseback to inspect the surrounding areas. And in the evenings, would hold impromptu kirtana and lecture programs. When he was once discoursing in Vinodanagar village, among the many listeners was the young Tarini Karana Samabha, a classmate of Srila Bhaktivinoda's first son, Ananda Prasada. As did almost all respectable families, Sri Tarini Karana's relatives sent gifts of homemade sweets to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. The people of Vinodanagar never forgot this great Vaishnava, who had appeared in their midst, and have continued to associate with him through his writings. Local villagers who visited nearby Navadvipa returned with news of the ongoing Vaishnava. Abhitakir discovered the true birthplace of Sriman Prabhu Mayapur, of the extraordinary nunciant Srila Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji, who shunned other Babajis, yet associated with the household Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and of a special son of Sri Vinoda Thakura. The materially and spiritually exceptional qualified Sri Siddhanta Saraswati, who had left all prospects of worldly progress to sit in the desolate jungle of Mayapur, simply to chant incessantly the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Karana's son, Kanakanana, grew up hearing such discussions, which inspired in him a desire for the saintly life. One night in 1910, at age 12, he ran away from home desiring to visit Navadvipa and Rishikesh. Journeying by foot, boat and rail, seeing a railroad for the first time in his life, he reached Navadvipa somewhat before sunrise the next day and immediately searched up the famous temple advertised on Mahaprabhu's birthplace. But as he eagerly rushed to enter, he was halted by a grating voice. 3 annas donation to be given. Distraught, the lad turned back and sat in the veranda of a Shiva temple, wondering what to do. The all-merciful Lord Gauranga distributed Krishna Prema door to door to one and all. So why did he not let me in his door today? Just then he overheard 2 gentlemen returning from bathing in the Ganga, discussing the real birthplace of Sri Chaitanya was in Mayapur.
Chaitanya.
Sri Chaitanya.
Chaitanya.
Sri Chaitanya was in Mayapur. This jogged Kanachana's memory. He had heard such talk before, and he immediately inquired how to go to Mayapur. Upon arriving there, he attained a boon rarely achieved in thousands of pilgrimages, refuge at the lotus feet of a self-realized Acharya.
Acharya. Yeah.
Some months later, a female devotee named Srimati Vidyaluta Gosha came to Rajapatana and served Sri Siddhanta Saraswati with the affection of an older sister. While expertly preparing many varieties of sumptuous food, she engaged Pankana to help, whereby he learned the culinary art. Srimati would utilize Vidya and lifestyle in the 1930s, Sri Siddhanta Saraswati initiated the campaign. The boy lived with and was gifted by Sri Siddhanta Saraswati with his own dear son. At night, Nanda stepped by Sri Siddhanta Saraswati's side, and in the pre-dawn hours, Siddhanta Saraswati would call, Ramananda, get up, chant the holy names. Oh. Paramananda would groan protest, but Sri Siddhanta was firm. Oh will not do, and made sure that Ramananda rose. I think it's interesting how he tried to go in the temple, but he then couldn't because I didn't pay. It says he had three annas donations to be given.
Oh, yeah.
But then when he got there, he wasn't allowed in the temple. He got to sit the leg and lotus feet of the celebrated very Acharya. And Acharya is a
Teacher. Yeah. Someone who teaches by example, not just says things, but he backs it up by the way he behaves. Belligerent.
Too much for confrontation and not enough for integration. Srila Saraswati Thakura came to be retrospectively accepted by sincere men as a constructive reformer who had done unparalleled good for society. Genuine Vaishnavas, including many whose predecessors had been firmly pitted against him, recognized that had he not acted as he did to refurbish the culture and mastery, it would have been all but lost. You are not going to get it. Further Vaishnavas, who have remained marginal, open forward and misconceptions. Virtually always students of Buddha Vaishnavas, beginning with the exception of Chinese.
Jai. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Maharaj ki. Shishi Hodai Mahaprashashi ki. Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Vasa Chatradana Gosi Ache Gaurachan Ratna Singashani Aroti Korena Brahma Adi Devagani Narahari Adi Kori Chamaraduraya Sanyaya Mukanda Vasu Goshadigaya Shankha Bhajiganta Bhaje Bhaje Karatala Madhurya Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasala Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Ujvala Galadeshi Banamala Kore Jalamala Shiva Shukhanarada Preme Gada Gada Bhakati Vinoda Deke Gaura Rasampada Iba Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Aroti Keshoma Janavitatavane Jagamanaloba Jaga Gaurange Arotik Shobha Jaga Janamanaloba Shankha Bhaje Ganta Bhaje Madhu 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 Bhaje Madhu 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 Bhaje Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshav Madhava Dina Daya. Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Keshav Madhava Dina Daya. Dinadaya Prabhu, Dinadaya Prabhu, Dinadaya. Dinadaya Prabhu Dinadaya Dinadaya Prabhu Dinadaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Gaura Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram. Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, bolo, bolo, bolo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatara Shishma and His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatara Shishma and His Divine Grace. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vatsadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinav Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Gangamai Jamunamai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Shri Brihad Madanga Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hariva. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
दायिने हिरण्यकाशिपुवस्तः शिलातङ्कानखालाये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहिर नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदें शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नखामद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जय नरसिंहदेव 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 जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज श्री नरसिंहदेव भगवान की